Okay, so I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. This presentation is a little bit different than the ones we usually see on Tuesday. The main difference is I talk a lot more about Kala and the ecosystem and things of that sort. I think both calls can be very well, and people just learn things differently. So some may be attracted to one call more than the other or whatever, and that's totally fine. But I like having as many points of view as we can out there so that people can kind of gravitate to one or the other. But what I want to talk a lot about tonight is our overall the overall opportunity that we have, and especially what makes Kala a little unique and different, and things of that sort. But before I even get into Kala, I want to talk a little bit about you know companies really starting to become attracted to blockchain, just really migrate to it. I've got a link down here, and what I'd like to do is I'll go ahead and post the link to this presentation for people to go in there and read through this. I refer to a lot of links and things of that sort on purpose so people can take their own time and do their due diligence, because if I just read all these articles, I'd be on the phone for 3 hours, and nobody wants that. So this list here is really interesting. The more research I do on blockchain and the technology behind cryptocurrency, the more excited I become being involved in a company that has their own cryptocurrency, especially when you find out about a lot of the things that they're doing to help value their cryptocurrency, Kala. And but right here, it kind of gives you a really good idea of a lot of different companies that are taking a serious look at blockchain. I know a lot of us have heard the word blockchain. Some of us have a better understanding than others when it comes to blockchain, but it's getting out there, and it's something that I think we really need to start, keying in on and really learn as much as we can about, because I believe that blockchain is the future of business, and I'm not the only one. A lot of people are kind of sharing that same sentiment. Darren Elian, this is a short video. I won't play it on this presentation, but again, you can refer to this presentation on the PowerPoint and listen to this video. But a couple things that he talks about that I really kind of want to key in on, and I love, is how he mentions that we're providing the infrastructure. So what makes us unique and different than a lot of companies that just say, hey, we're offering mining, or we're doing this or that. He talks about how mining is evolving and how a lot of the bigger groups are taking it over or have taken it over. And if you really want to stay on top of things, you've got to be much more than just a mining company. You've got to create the infrastructure, the rails as they call it. We're building the rails, or the racetrack for the race horses, for other companies to come on and use our blockchain technology. We have 3 working blockchains, and we're creating a way for companies to come in to the blockchain revolution, is what I call it, and take part in it without having to create their own blockchain from scratch. So why would companies even use our blockchain versus creating their own? That's a question I get a lot. And back in the day, this is a few years ago, I used to sell medical collections, and I'd go to different size, anywhere from a single dentist office to a major hospital chain. And the one thing that a lot of them had in common is they didn't want to do the collections themselves. It was not their primary business. They wanted to farm it out to somebody else and say, hey, you go ahead and do this. Now, granted, some of them pulled it in-house or whatever, and that's fine, but the majority of them wanted to use a third party. Same with blockchain. Blockchain is not their primary business. That's not what they do. That's not what got them to where they are today. And so they want to go to a trusted source and a place where they know that they understand blockchain, how it works, and what it can, how it can benefit their company. And so it's a lot easier for them to use a group, or go to them that already has a working model. And especially if it's not their primary business, they can try to create their own model, but they may not do it correctly either. I mean, blockchain is something that not just anybody can go create a wonderfully well-defined working blockchain. So a lot of different reasons why companies would use a third-party blockchain rather than their own. So let's talk a little bit about Blockchain, again, I don't want to dive too deep into it because you can do your own research on what it is. But why are companies really attracted to this new way of doing business? And I can tell you just from being selling business B2B and business as consumer and businesses I've been involved in, security is really to me one of the main reasons. You want to basically be able to conduct your business in a secure, safe, fast manner, and that attracts everything. It's better for your clients, it's better for your customers, it's better for your overall business, your bottom line, everything. So what I love about blockchain is the decentralization of it, being able to create something that I know right now, if you look at blockchain, it, it hasn't been hacked, and there's a lot of different reasons for that, mainly because everything's decentralized. It doesn't require data to all pass through a singular point. That's easy to get into, easy to hack. Um, Instead, it's passing through multiple points and is very difficult to break into. And so, fault tolerance, attack resistance, collusion resistance, increased security, all great things for companies, both small, large, or medium and large companies. That's attractive for those companies to have a solution like that in place. So that's really what's going on out there in blockchain. And again, you can read that article, that link I sent you. You can read about all those companies kind of looking for really good blockchain solutions. So looking forward, blockchain technology is quickly becoming a revolutionary force within today's business world. And this is just the beginning, guys. Industries like banks, financial institutions, humanitarian initiatives, all of these and more are already looking at implementing blockchain solutions. So all those business applications need to be built on a network, and many companies would prefer to use an existing one instead of creating their own. A lot, basically what I said before in that previous slide. In addition, it can be arduous that many large mining pools actually control the network they mine, which can make it intimidating and difficult for smaller companies or cryptocurrencies to compete for mining hash power on these large blockchain networks. Once they do get on, there is a very real possibility that the controlling mining pools and entities could end up taking over them as well. Because of this, the demand for safer, more secure alternatives is growing. So we'll talk a little bit about that, how in this company, you can control your cryptocurrency, you control your wallets, you control where your crypto is. The Nui symmetry, we do not control wallets, we do not control any of that stuff, which is advantageous to our members, which I absolutely love the fact that they're doing that. Nui has joined the race to build the needed infrastructure networks for the blockchain applications of the future before much of the world even realizes the race has begun. And again, go back to that video if you reference this PowerPoint that Darren speaks a lot about this. Through Symmetry's Kala cryptocurrency, a network of miners are earning early block rewards while growing a decentralized distributed network. So now my favorite part of everything that Nui and Symmetry is this part right here. When the network reaches the target threshold, 40 petahash with 10,000 mining rigs or nodes, it will be among the top blockchain in our cryptocurrency networks. It will also be one of the largest and strongest blockchain networks with true decentralization. Not only that, with education to walk members from A to Z in cryptocurrency and blockchain. These members can become more than simply part of a network. They become blockchain enthusiasts and knowledgeable ambassadors poised and ready for the blockchain revolution of the future. I absolutely love that, the size and scope of the network that they're building through Nui. And so when we talk more about Kala and what it's doing in its ecosystem, you guys can really understand why we're so big, we're so high on Kala as opposed to just any cryptocurrency. There's over 2,000 cryptocurrencies out there right now. And so some of them have done very, very well. Some of them haven't done anything. And there's reasons for that. Okay, a lot of them are just built based on speculation. This right here, we are fortunate enough to have this right in front of us. where there's a company that's building this massive ecosystem. So from public announcements on NASDAQ, December 20th, 2018, go ahead and feel free to click on that link and, again, refer to this PowerPoint later, and you can read about what's being built in this ecosystem for Kala and what we're actually doing. We're not just saying, hey, we're building this, we're doing that. We've got proof. We've got public announcements being made, and there's several more to follow of companies that are joining this movement, joining this ecosystem, so that we can create something very special, and it could help really impact the stability and the value of Kala. That's what's so exciting about this. I do not believe for 1 second we're going to be a fly-by-night cryptocurrency because of everything that we're doing to really help, the growth of this ecosystem and create use cases and everything for our cryptocurrency, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the presentation. So this is just a little blurb from this article below. Based on decades of exposure to the evolving world of data and the misuse and monetization of data, PRTT, now they talk about them in the article, so I won't explain who they are. You can read the article. Has changed its focus to creating an ecosystem of tools to help people and empower them to protect their data and their business from being exploited. From medical records to credit scores to home ownership, the blockchain is creating new economies. People need to have an organization devoted to their protection using the latest techniques such as blockchain. This investment is one of many being made by a consortium of companies forming the help economy. When asking David Childs, now David Childs is the CEO of Mintage Mining, which is a group that works with us. They're the ones helping us mine the Kala for everybody else. So you've got Nui, who's a marketing company, Symmetry, who does a business to business. They're the ones who really helping put this ecosystem together, and David Childs with Mintage Mining, mining the Kala as it's being created, getting it out to us, mining other coins. There'll be 9 other cryptocurrencies that we'll be mining as well as part of this program, and you can pick and choose which ones you want to mine. You do not have to mine all of them. As long as you're mining Kala, you're receiving Kala, you can do anything else you want. So that's who David Childs is. Also CTO of IMD, which is part of this ecosystem, again mentioned in these articles as well. Why he chose to align with OnlyChain, who is also PRTT. I know it gets a little confusing, but once you read the articles on that link, it'll all make sense. Stated technology like ours needs to be shared with the world. The quicker we can get it out there, the more people who will be able to take control of their lives. OnlyChain has a vision and network to get our technology out to the world, Mr. Childs added. There is a new wave of human connection and control on its way, and these two entities saw that together they can impact the masses in a shorter amount of time. The blockchain technology will be the next era of business and personal control, creating a secure and transparent world. Again, go back to that list of 50 major companies looking at blockchain technology. It's not just me telling you guys this. This is getting out there. This is huge, and we're very fortunate to be right on the front end of a potential breakout cryptocurrency. If you missed out on the blockchain, Bitcoin chain, don't worry about it. Again, read about Kala. This link right here, kalatoken.io. You can go on there, or you can just simply click on this link, and you can read the white paper that describes what Kala is, the plan, the ecosystem, everything that's being built. It's all right there in the white paper for you to research. Also, do not forget to refer to the link below and learn about Kala's road to the public exchanges. This is something that they're anticipating mid-2019 to get to the public exchanges, which is why it's nice to get your hands on Kala right now. Prior to the public exchanges, nobody knows what's going to happen to the value when it reaches the exchanges. They can only speculate, but based off of a lot of things that we're putting into place with the ecosystem being built and the case uses being put together, we believe that Kala is going to be a major winner. So let's just talk about this just a little bit, and let me switch screens here for 1 second and then share this screen so you can see it. Give me just 1 second here. Okay, so what the reason I want to kind of share this is I really like right here on the very top. It talks about a lot of the ICOs, which are initial coin offerings. Okay, there were so many cryptocurrencies that came out in the last couple of years, and again, some of them did really well, and some of them didn't do anything at all, and there were reasons behind that. We believe that they went to the public exchanges too quickly. They just rushed there, and they were just their business was not fully developed, their product or service wasn't there, it just wasn't ready. They should not have gone to the exchanges so early. We believe it was a mistake to do so, and because of that, a lot of them became pump and dumps and things of that sort. But what I love about this right here, it talks about what our strategy is, moving forward, our road to the public exchange. And it has a list down here of all of the things, that we're doing, things that have already been done, that has a check mark right here, and things that are ongoing right now. And it's exciting for me to be, again, linked with a company that gets it. These guys truly understand blockchain inside and out, frontwards and backwards. I mean, they've created 3 working blockchains, and they look at this so carefully and say, what do we need to do with Kala to make it successful when it goes to the public exchanges? What can we learn from mistakes made by others or triumphs made by others? And that's what they're doing. They're taking it methodic and slow, and they're doing things the right way so that we can feel more confident as members, and they can feel more confident as corporate to put together something that could be very special for all of us. And so another thing, what I love about this too, for a deeper insight and look of what's happening with Kala, on the same PDF, you can click on any of these. And so it's just kind of, you can really read everything you want about Kala and really research it for yourself. So let me go back here a little bit, back to where we were. Give me just 1 second. Switch my screen again. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that, and then move on to the next. So I always tell people, put the puzzle pieces together. There's so many things going on right now that, again, it's very hard for me to go in and explain the entire ecosystem in under an hour. This is really hard because there's just so much going on. What I'm telling members to do, or even prospects looking at this or listening to this for the first time, is go ahead and get a copy of this presentation. Click on the links, do your due diligence, do your research, read about all of this stuff, and then as this develops, watch for new public announcements to be made as well, and start putting the puzzle pieces together, and you can see how exciting that this is. I can tell you right now, I live really close to Lehi, Utah, about 15 minutes from corporate, and what they're doing in Lehi, Utah right now in the tech world, I mean, study it. Study Silicon Valley or Silicon Slopes or whatever it is they call it, and see what they're doing to become a major player in the world of technology and now blockchain. And Nui's right in the middle of that. And that's what's so exciting about this. And again, you can read the public announcements for yourself, so we're not just blowing smoke your way. This is going on right in front of us, this amazing ecosystem being built. So again, feel free to read all that, but we are basically, along with PRTT and other members as well, other partners as well, we're in the process of building out a strong and capable team of advisors and venture partners. Together, we want to execute a mission whereby we assist the disruptive and promising projects with the ability to offer actual practical blockchain-enabled applications to benefit the global economy. It's amazing. So here's another link you can look at as well. I know a lot of information. At the bottom, there's a nice video on YouTube, but it talks about 8 reasons to acquire Kala. Get it now, and I'll really explain the sense of urgency here later on, a couple slides from now. But international network of users, which we have. Kala is building its own ecosystem, which will allow people to purchase goods and services. So again, you can go to NASDAQ and read about that. Kala raised millions in its initial coin offering. Kala has its own functioning crypto wallet with thousands of users. Peer-to-peer listing network coming soon. Target date February 1st. We'll talk about that more once it launches. Partnered with one of the world's leading cryptocurrency law firms, Jones Day. You can read about Jones Day, what they've done in the world of cryptocurrency. Jones Day is one of the largest law practices on the planet, and with the team that they have with cryptocurrency is excellent. That's who represents us. Kala has launched its own working blockchain, actually 3 blockchains, already mined over 1 billion coins amongst thousands of users. So Kala has 1 blockchain, but this ecosystem has 3 blockchains. So just to clarify that. Again, the path to success, one thing that people really need to understand, and again, I can only say so much in this presentation until other announcements are made, but creating use cases, internal use cases, things of that sort, the peer-to-peer that we talked about, and I'll talk about this here a little bit later as well, is one out of many internal use cases that are being created for Kala, for the Kala ecosystem. Very, very exciting stuff going on with our cryptocurrency. So let's talk about all of the offerings that we have right now. And starting out with the first one. So there's several ways to obtain Kala. And so people can receive Kala for as low as $50 and $15 a month, $100, $500, $1,000, or $4,000. So this is just kind of right here on the left. This kind of gives you an idea. So for $4,000, you can receive basically a 4,000 terahash mining agreement or a rig. And so they can ship the rig to you, they can host it for you, or they can just keep it in-house and get you the terahash. Right now, the rigs are producing right around 5,000 Kala per day, maybe a little less now. As more people join the network, those numbers will decrease, okay? And that's why there's such a sense of urgency, because there's about 6 million Kala being created a day and assigned. So if more and more people obtain hash rate agreements or rigs or whatever, those numbers will eventually go lower. So as it stands right now, a cost of $4,000, $1,380, that's $115 a month to host your rig or your terahash. In about a year, it'd be about $5,380. At the current valuation of 2 cents, which is where Kala is now, that was a value after the initial token offering. When we said we raised millions of dollars in that offering, that's what it sold for, was right around 2 cents. Started at 1, went to 2, and now we're we're not in the exchanges yet. We do not want to be there until some of this ecosystem is built. Mid-2019 is the target date to get there. And so we don't know what the value is going to be there, but assuming you're still receiving right around 5,000 Kala a day, you'd have about 1.4 million Kala in about a year. And then at a 2 cent valuation, at $5,300 purchase would be about $28,000. At 4 cents, $57,000. Now again, Kala is being assigned daily, which will decline as more members join the Kala network. So you may start out with about 4,000 or 5,000 Kala a day. Then when our network doubles or whatever, then it'll go down to 2,000, 1,000. It's going to eventually go down. Okay, so I don't want to give you any, false, I guess, information saying, hey, it's going to stay at this number forever, because it won't. Because as more people join, only 6,000 is being created a day, up to 21 billion Kala. Okay, eventually it's going to run out. That's why it's nice to get in now early while you can receive more Kala. And so that's how that works. So let's go get into some of these other things here. Give me 1 second. My screen's being a little bit funny here. Okay, so we have great products for customers with our $50, $100 gigahash contracts, and we're teaching customers to become coin collectors. And with that, you can either collect Kala only and do nothing else, and just say, you know what, I don't want to refer other people, I'm not good at that, whatever, that's fine. You can just sit there and just collect coins. Or you can refer others and receive commissions on the back end. You can do both. Now, people ask me this all the time, and they say, well, John, I don't want to just do an MLM, blah, 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 blah. Why is there an MLM aspect if we can just collect coins? And the reason is going back to that decentralized network. The more users we have, the more people that own Kala, the more people that can spend it, the more people that will be able to trade it, the more people that will be able to do some of the internal use cases. The only one I'm talking about tonight a little bit is a peer-to-peer, but there's more coming. I just can't really mention what they are yet until they're officially announced. But the more people we have in our network, the more people that have terahash agreements and rigs or nodes and things, and as you learn more about blockchain, you'll know what I'm talking about here. The larger our network, that's what makes us us and unique. And we want as many people to have Kala as possible. That's why there's also an MLM aspect. Do you have to be part of that MLM as far as recruiting? No, you don't. You can receive Kala no matter what. That's what's so great about this. That's why I'm doing this. And you must purchase a Kala Gigahash in order to purchase additional coins as well. So let's go through that. So the way it works is very, very simple. This is one of the easiest things I've ever promoted. For $50 one time, $15 a month to host it. And anybody in cryptocurrency knows if they're mining or they're doing anything with crypto, they're either going to do it at home, which means their electric bill is going to go through the ceiling, or they're going to have a data center host it, and they usually charge anywhere from $85 and up a month. Okay, so these are very, very more than reasonable fees to pay for hosting. Okay, so $50 one time and $15 a month, that will give you about 1,500 Kala a month. The cool thing about it right now is if you take the math for $15 divided by 1,500, you're spending about 1 penny per Kala per month. Now the initial $50, you're spending about 3 cents per Kala. But after that, monthly $15, you're paying a penny for Kala. In the ITO, we were paying about 2 cents. So you're actually getting a better deal than a lot of people did in the initial ITO, which I think is awesome. Again, $100 Kala Gigahash, one time, $30 a month. Now this is month to month. So if you stop paying your fee, you just stop receiving Kala. You're not locked into an annual contract or anything like that. You pay, you receive the Kala. The Kala keeps coming. When it goes to the internal exchange, you can post listings there and try to sell it, or you can sell it on the regular exchanges. That, it's easy once it's on a regular exchange. Whatever the value is at that time on a public exchange, you just sell it, depending on which, there's so many different exchanges out there, and you basically just sell it. You click on sell, and you can sell it within seconds or minutes or whatever, depending on the speed of the exchange. Very easy to do, and then whatever you cash it out for, that's what you make, right? I'm not going to say what that number is because obviously nobody has a crystal ball and nobody knows exactly what that number is. All I can tell you is we're doing a lot of things to help drive the value of Kala. $500 Kala Gigahash, $1,000 Gigahash. The cool things about this, if you look at the monthly fee, $42 versus $30, but I'm receiving 15,000 Kala a month versus 3,000. So now the math, I think I'm paying less than 1/3 of a cent per Kala, which is awesome. $1,000 once, $57 a month will give you approximately 30,000 Kala a month. Right now, eventually those numbers will go down as more people come in, right? Because out of 6 million, it's got to be broken up a certain way. So now is a great time to get in while it's still 30,000. In a month or two, it might be 25,000. It might be 20. It might be 22. Somewhere in there. It's going to eventually taper down a little bit. But what's great is even at a current valuation of 2 cents, you're still getting a really good deal. And then that number could go up or down. I mean, obviously, it could do nothing. It could go down to 0. It could go up to a couple bucks. It could do a lot of different things. That's why we have to do our due diligence and see what is Kala doing differently than other companies to help increase the value. And that's what's important. That's why I like to talk about Kala a little bit in its ecosystem prior to going just right into this presentation, to give you guys kind of that short background and the ability to go back and research yourself. So that's if you just want to collect Kala and you don't want to refer anybody else. I just said, John, I just want to come in, I want to collect. That's fine. What if I want to refer people? Okay, great. Let's talk about that. If I do refer people, I am paid on referrals. I get a bonus every month. So say somebody comes in and they purchase one Kala contract for $50. So I'd make $2.50. So if I get 6 people, because I'll be getting that $2.50 every month. So if I get 6 people, then that $15 is basically free, right? Because I'm being reimbursed what I'm paying. I'm being paid right back in commissions. Same with the $100 and up. So I'm basically receiving $5 on $100, $50 on 500, 100 on 1,000. So that's basically what I'm being paid in commissions coming back to me. And then TBS is basically, it's a 3x10 matrix for anybody that understand how that works. So basically, it just means if I get my people in the personally enrolled network, you want to get at least 10 people, and then once I get all 10, as they start bringing people in, I also receive commission off of all of them, and I'll explain that here in the next chart. 1 second, get there. So basically, Nui's unique commission structure autofills 10 levels based off of 10 personal enrollees. Now, you don't need 10 people to start receiving commission. You can receive commission off of 1 person. But once you have 10, basically all the levels deep, you will be paid on 10 levels deep. And I'll show you the next chart here that really goes into that. So basically what that means is that 10 levels deep, it's right here. There we go. Okay, so I have 10 people in the personally enrolled network. If you filled out an entire network, which has never happened, so don't think you will, 59,049 people, annually you can receive $1 million a year in commission. Now, the cool thing about this is you're still receiving CALA no matter what. No matter what you do, you are still receiving CALA. Okay, that's what's important to note. Okay, so if you just go across the top line here, CALA coin only, I have 1 person. Okay, and so I'm making my $1 a month, whatever, or if I recruited them, I'm making $2.50 a month. But if somebody else recruits them, I make $1 a month. They bring a couple people in. Every person that joins under me, I'm making another $1 a month, $1 a month, $1 a month. And then I bring in 9 people, or and they bring in people, and you can kind of see as it fills up. For every new person coming in, I'm making $1 more a month on the CALA coin. Okay, so but this is where it gets really cool. There's going to be 9 other coins introduced to this. In this company. So CALA's the first coin. That's our coin. That's the one that was created through Symmetry, Nui's marketing, and things of that sort. There's 9 other cryptocurrencies being added. Some of these cryptocurrencies are going to be coins that are already on exchanges where you can go and sell tomorrow. Some are going to be coins that are in initial coin offerings, so you can't. They're not public yet, so you can't sell them yet. So it's going to be a mix and match of both. But so you can look at each coin and say, you know what? I want CALA, and out of the 10 coins, I want 4 of them or 5 of them or whatever it may be. And it's going to be the same type of thing. The different, it's going to be $15 a month, $30 a month, and up depending on which package you purchase, I guess, how many coins that you're mining each month. And so each coin that somebody on your team says, so for example, if someone on your team says, okay, I have CALA, but I want to purchase this coin or this coin, then that's commissionable to you as well. So that's where it goes back to this chart right here. So say they have all 10 coins in there, and you have, I don't know, 100 people in your pen or whatever. You're basically making $10 100 times, so you're at $1,000 a month. So you can kind of look at this chart and kind of see how much commission can I make by referring others or helping them do so. Now, what I love about this is, to me, I've had so many discussions about this. I said, I look at this back end as a bonus, because I've looked at this so many times and said, well, I receive CALA no matter what. So I've referred people just because I want people to get CALA. A, it helps our network grow. The more CALA users there are, the better. B, I want people I know to have CALA because I believe it's going to be worth something. I think it's great to say, hey, you know what, this is what I'm doing in cryptocurrency. If you want to start in crypto for as low as $50 and $15 a month and acquire as much as this coin as you can before it goes public, why not do it? Here's some information on the coin. This is what we're doing. Here you go. And so to me, I would promote it even without this huge back end, just because I want people to have CALA. So to me, I look at this as just a bonus, because all this, it's impossible to look at a person and say, this is how much money you're going to make on your CALA. That's impossible. Nobody knows what that is. But I can say, look, go to this chart and find out if I want to make, you know, $5,460 a month, what do I need to do? And I can come down here and just look at all these different places. I'm on coin 5, 6 in the pan here. Say I would need about 729 people, and they each would have to have 5 coins. I'd make about $5,400 a month. That's what you do. Just kind of follow that chart. And so those aren't personal sponsors. You'd need, you know, at least, you know, you'd want to get your 10 sponsors to unlock all levels. But if you had 5 people, you would unlock 5 levels. So anything from coin 1 to coin 5 would be commissionable to you. If you have 6 people, you're commissionable through coin 6. 10 people, you're commissionable through coin 10. That's how that works. So that's why they say 10 in the personally enrolled network. For every 1 person you promote, you unlock that level, and that next coin is commissionable to you. That's how that works. So one thing I love too, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning too, is you control your own wallet. You're always in control. Each coin requires a separate wallet. That wallet is yours, not the company's. You control the coin. You decide what to do with them. You decide when to stop mining by simply discontinuing the mining fee. It's completely 100% entirely up to you what you do. Okay, most places do not pay you a commission on your mining fees. We do. So for example, if I say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go to this place and I'm going to mine Bitcoin or whatever, and I've got my machine over at this data center, and I'm paying them a monthly fee, I'm not making commission on that monthly fee. I'm paying it, and I can refer people, and I've had a couple places say, well, if you refer X amount of people, we'll take $15 a month off your bill or something like that. I mean, it wasn't anything life-changing. Here is, I'm like, I can make a commission off of everybody in my organization, and here's the beauty of it. Retention's fantastic because people want to keep paying that $15, $30, $42 a month, whatever, depending on what plan they're on, because they want to keep receiving their call out. They want to keep receiving their cryptocurrency. It's a great way to go start acquiring cryptocurrency, and you're not pushing potions, lotions, powders, and pills and stuff like that. You're helping them get into something that could become a major asset for them later on, especially once it goes public mid-2019. So very simple to do this. Step 1, you register for free. Anybody who purchases at least 100 gigahash or more, so $100 and $30 a month, there's no annual fee of $150. If anything from $100 and above, no annual fee. If you get in before February 1st, after February 1st, I'm not sure what it's going to be there. That we haven't gotten there yet, and so, but right now, between now and then, no annual fee of $150. Step 2, purchase anywhere from 50 to 1,000 gigahash, or if you want to go all in and get a terahash, you can go ahead and do that and receive more Kala. Obviously, it's closer to 4,000 or 5,000 Kala per day right now, is where it's at right now. Again, that'll change over time. Any of these will make you commission active, and then save your Kala or sell Kala to your new members. So how you would do that is February 1st, starting February 1st, you have to have at least, the new members come in and will have to have at least 2,500 Kala. So they're going to have to buy that Kala from somewhere. The only place they'll be able to purchase that Kala from is either you, if you want to sell some of your Kala, or we're going to have a network of people who already have Kala prior to the public exchanges middle of the year to sell their Kala, to list them, and new people will go in and purchase the Kala from the members listing that Kala. Now they can list for 2 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents. They can list it for whatever they want, and the market's going to determine on what the buyers are willing to pay, and that's going to create an internal case use for our token prior to the public exchanges. So the more members that come in and purchase Kala, the higher the demand will come, and that's what's going to really help create that value come February 1st. And so that's what's really exciting about that, is we're literally building this network of people all over the world that can come in and purchase Kala, but they have to purchase Kala, again, from the person who signs them up or from our peer-to-peer internal exchange that will be live right around February 1st. So another way to create internal case use is core and reach. Now, this is something I'm not going to get into it in depth tonight just because of time, but here's another link right here on Facebook. And so you can click on that link and you can look at it, and it talks all about core and reach. But just kind of to summarize, core is a place you can go into and you can do different activities, watch videos, do a lot of different things where you'll earn points, and then you can take those points, go into our redemption center, into reach. Right now, you can redeem those points into actual items and services on reach. Or you can convert those points into Kala, which I think most members are going to do. That's coming out very shortly, that you'll be able to make that conversion. That's something that's been discussed a lot lately. I don't know the exact date, but that's another way for people to go in there and, in fact, sign up for Nui for free. And even if they don't have a gigahash, they can go into core, earn points by doing activities. I call it sweat equity. Go in there, earn that, earn those core points and convert it into Kala. So a lot of different ways to get Kala, either through the gigahash agreements. And again, and I know I went through this pretty quickly, so some of you may have more questions than others, but I would just say get with the person who invited you to this call and ask them those questions, like, maybe, hey, tell me a little bit more about blockchain, or a little bit more about this and that, because everybody has a different level of understanding, so it's really hard to cater to everybody all in the same call. But that's more or less what we're doing, and that's why we're very, very high on Kala. We believe we have the experts in place, we have the working blockchains, we've got these ecosystems that we can prove are being built, and as more public announcements come out, I am very excited to know that I am in it right now before what I believe is going to be the storm for Kala once it goes public, because of what's being built around. There's got to be some substance behind the cryptocurrency. There's got to be use cases. There's got to be usage for that coin or token to make it stable and to create value. That's where some cryptocurrencies fell short, is they didn't have everything completed, or they tried to rush, or just a lot of it was speculation, whatever it may be. That's where they fell short. That's something that has been looked at very closely with Kala. Said, no, we've got to do this and this and this and this and this. So again, go through that presentation, the PowerPoint, get a copy of it from whoever invited you. Once you're ready to sign up, this is how you do it. You just come right over here, click on this link. It walks you through the whole process. You can receive the link from a member, and all you have to do by signing up to avoid an annual fee is 100 gigahash or more, and there's no annual fee, which is awesome. And again, you'll receive the Kala once until you stop paying. If you stop paying, you don't receive Kala. It's as easy as that. That's it. That's all there is to it. So with that, that's pretty much it. And then my final disclaimer, because I put this on all my videos now, cryptocurrencies are like anything else. They can increase or decrease in value due to different variables. Do your due diligence before making any final decisions regarding cryptocurrency, or really anything you do. And that's why I like to give you all those links and stuff to get you started. Like, do your homework and then whatever you need to do. And then again, ask us any questions you want. So with that, let me go ahead and stop the recording just for the prospects. And if there's some members on the call that have questions, I'll do a little Q&A as well. So give me 1 second.